Welcome to Tux Tales. What if I told you that downloading a Linux ISO could depend on international sanctions? As of February 10th, 2026, Fedora Linux is officially available again in Syria. But this wasn't just a firewall toggle. This was politics, sanctions, legal review, and months of behind-the-scenes work. Let's break down what actually happened. The Fedora project announced that IP range blocks affecting Syria have been lifted. That means users connecting from Syria can now download Fedora ISOs, access RPM repositories, use the Fedora account system, interact with Fedora build systems, participate fully in the Fedora community. This change follows an update to Fedora's export control policy. And yes, this means Fedora is officially welcoming Syrians back into the community. But why now? To understand this, we need to go back to December 2024. You can see the full timeline on the screen. Now this may look like boring policy stuff, but here's the key. When Syria was on the sanctions list, US-based infrastructure projects like Fedora had to comply. That meant blocking access. Once the sanctions were repealed, the legal foundation for blocking access changed, and that opened the door. You might wonder, other open source projects are accessible everywhere, so why was Fedora blocked? Here's the nuance. Unlike a random GitHub repository, Fedora's infrastructure is centrally managed. Much of it is operated by contributors working within systems influenced by US legal compliance frameworks. Fedora is closely connected to Red Hat, which is owned by IBM. That means legal compliance isn't optional, it's mandatory. And because Linux distributions function as digital infrastructure, not just source code, the legal bar is higher. So lifting the block required careful legal review. This all didn't happen overnight. It started with a ticket. On September 1st, 2025, Zaid Belor, known as Dev Zaid, opened ticket 541 to the Fedora console. That escalated the issue and triggered deeper investigation. Community members and Fedora leadership reviewed the new political situation. They consulted legal teams at Red Hat and IBM. They analyzed US federal law changes. They ensured full compliance. Months of discussion later, approval came through, and then the firewall block was removed in seconds. This is about more than Fedora. It's about how geopolitics affects open source. It's about how free software still operates inside legal frameworks. And it's about a community choosing to reopen its doors the moment it legally could. Fedora's vision says, a world where everyone benefits from free and open source software built by inclusive, welcoming, and open-minded communities. As of February 2026, Syria is part of that world again. What do you think about open source projects navigating global sanctions? Should infrastructure projects be treated differently than code repositories? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoy deep dives about how Linux evolves behind the scenes, the decisions, the infrastructure, the culture, you're in the right place. Because there's always more happening under the hood. Thank you. Leave a like and subscribe. See you in the next one.